All right, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 5-1. It is called Addition and Subtraction Situations. Well, today we're going to talk a lot about the triangle. I called it a triangle earlier in the last unit. We talked about the numbers on top and the numbers on the bottom. A lot of you have mentioned Math Mountains. So this lesson I'm going to work on calling it Math Mountains. So, in a Math Mountain, on the top you have the sum. And on the bottom you have two add-ins. Okay, so if you look at it, how many numbers does a Math Mountain have? Okay, hopefully you said 3. The Math Mountain will have 3 numbers. Where do we find the total in the Math Mountain? Hopefully you said at the top. Like I said, you might not always see it like that, but I like to do it like that. So the sum on top. Where do you find the two add-ins? Well, on the bottom we have both our add-ins. Okay, so where do we find the total and add-ins in an equation, in an addition equation? Okay, well the total will be on one side of the equal sign, total, and the add-ins will be on the other side of the equal sign. Let's not do total. What was I thinking? Sum. So this is what it would look like on an equation. So where do we find the total and add-ins in a subtraction? Well, when you get to a subtraction, you will find the total and one of the add-ins on one side. So if we do sum minus one add-in equals the other add-in. Okay? So when you work with subtraction, the sum has to be on the left side of the subtraction sign, because that's what it's being taken from. The sum is the most. So let's get started with the first page. Oops. Page 259. And this, as much as we've been working on Math Mountains, this should be a really easy lesson. So number 1, look at the Math Mountain and the 8 equations. What relationships do you see? In each equation, label each number as an add-in or a total. So, pretty easy. The total is 110. So wherever you see the 110, you always know it's the total. Okay, so here it's the total, and it's an add-in and an add-in. Here we have an add-in and an add-in with the total. Here's the total, and the add-in and the add-in. Add-in total. You guys go ahead and pause it and do these couple. These 4. Should be really easy. You're not going to pause it long. Okay, so hopefully here you said add-in, total, add-in, total, add-in, add-in, total, add-in, 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 total, add-in. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. It's just giving the idea that the total or the sum is the biggest number. Okay, and when it's subtraction, it has to be on the left side of the subtraction sign, and when it's addition, it has to be on one side of the equal sign. All right, so number 2, you need to write 8 equations for this Math Mountain. Okay, so let's do this together, because this might actually be a little bit challenging. So let's kind of do this together. Well, first let's do the obvious. 80 plus 60 equals 140. And then underneath it, I want you to say A, T. Then we'll do, obviously you're going to run out of room in the last one, at least I am. Next one we'll do 140 equals 80 plus 60. So here's T, A. Realize it means the same thing. Next you could do 140 equals 60 plus 80. You see I'm just switching around the add-ins. So total A. And then I could do 60 plus 80 equals 140. Total A. So see, from that one over there, I just switched around the add-ins. And then we can do subtraction. we could say 60 equals 140 minus 80, and 80 equals 140 minus 60. So we have a add-in, total, add-in, add-in, total, add-in, and then we could do 140 minus 80 equals 60, and 140 minus 60 equals 80. And that's total, add-in, add-in. Here's total, add-in, add-in. You see that? So 8 different ways based on this math mountain. Okay, you should be able to find 8 different ways every time with addition and subtraction. Just like this. They all equal the same. Okay? Every one of them will not equal the same, but they all are going to have all 3 of the numbers of this math mountain in it. So, let's get done with this page. Push it aside. Let's go to your next page. Okay, now here you're going to figure out what they're asking. It says, the first one, number 3, it says add 2. Okay, so it says Chris's group picked 80 apples. His mother's group picked 60 more. How many do they have now? Okay, well, these are 2 add-ins, 80 and 60. So if we had the math mountain, you have 80 plus 60 equals 140 apples. Okay, next one says take from. When you do take from, you know your total, you know your sum, and what you're going to do is subtract. So Chris's group had 140 apples. They ate 80 of them. How many do they have left? So we're missing that add-in right there. So what you can do is you can take your total, 140 minus 80, to equal 60 apples. Remember, put your unit in. Next one. Put together, take apart. Allison's class brought 70 juice boxes to the picnic. Taylor's class brought 50 juice boxes. How many juice boxes did they bring together? Okay, so one group brought 70, the other group brought 50. We're looking for our sum, or our total, whatever you want to call it. So you have 70 plus 50 equals 120 juice boxes. And the last one's the same thing. It says there are 120 juice boxes. Allison puts 70 on tables and leaves the rest. How many juice boxes are in the cooler? So we know that she took 70 away, so we're looking for our other add-in. So we can do 120 minus 70 equals 50 juice boxes. Alright, so hopefully you understood that. I'm trying to fly through a little bit of each page because I'm going to send you on your own, hopefully, here to work on them by yourself. Here's another one. This page you should be able to do on your own based on the information given to you. The add to, take from, put together, take apart, put together, take apart. I want you to fill in all the boxes with the unknown number. And it says, how are these math tools the same? How are they different? Kind of write that in there. And number 9 says, write a word problem for this equation, 110 minus 40. Then solve it. So write a word problem means you're going to write out something similar to the page we just did. Okay, you're going to write out a sentence saying, oh, Johnny had 110 this and he gave away 40. Okay, you're going to have some fun with this one. So hopefully there's some room on here to write. If not, just do it in your math notebook. And then the last one, it talks about expressions and equations. This is when we've been working with equations, meaning just a number, just a problem. An equation. Here's an equation. That's an equation. Okay. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. 8 equals 5 plus 3. Okay. So this here you'll put in a line through the equal sign if they do not equal on each side. Remember, if there's an equal sign, that means each side has to be the same, no matter how it works out. You could have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 7. One side is 7, the other side's 5, so it's not equal. Okay, so I need you to do number 10 and 11. And when you get a chance to get down there through 12 through 20. Okay, and you're not going to have a whole lot of time to do this all today. We'll work some in a small group, but then you can work on it again later when you do have some time.